you doing, guys? Welcome back to Cafe Unboxed with me, Rory, and this is the Nexus 5X. Get a look at that there. What am I doing with a Nexus 5X, you ask? I'll tell you what I'm doing with a Nexus 5X. A good customer of mine, a good buddy of mine, comes in actually every morning, and he actually found this phone underneath his sofa. And he said, Rory, you like your phones, you know a bit about phones, do you want to buy it off me? I said, I'll give you 50 quid. He said, done deal. I ended up getting a Nexus 5X for almost mint Nexus 5X for 50 quid. Now, I actually done a bit of research on this phone in the meantime. This is my first experience with an LG phone, actually, believe it or not. I've never had an LG phone. Now, I know this is Nexus 5X. This was actually made by LG. At the same time, this was launched back all the way in October 2015. This came out with the Nexus 6P, which was made by Huawei, which is kind of the more premium, higher-end version of the Nexus devices of that time, okay? This shipped with 2 gig of RAM, 16, 32 gig of storage. I have the 32 gig variant. Got a 12 megapixel camera and a 2,700 milliamp hour battery. Now, the reason I said I do a kind of like a catch-up review or kind of like a video on this is because right now as we speak, you're going to have to fork out 250, 260, anywhere up to 300 quid on a Nexus 5X brand new now. And anybody out there considering buying a Nexus 5X, I would reconsider. And I don't mean that in a super negative way. I only mean it in the way that it's a 2-year-old phone, okay? Since this phone was released, Google have done away with their Nexus products, their Nexus brands, and they brought out their own stuff, the Pixel XL. And now, only this month, they've brought out, or sorry, last month they brought out the Pixel 2, okay? And the Pixel XL 2. So this is a 2-year-old phone with 2-year-old spec and 2-year-old technology. Saying that, I have been using it for a few days because I thought it'd be handy to have a phone like this lying around the house in case anything happened to some of my other phones, or if I just needed a phone on standby, I said I'd use this. It's not a bad phone by any means, okay? It does come with 2 gig of RAM, and by all means, when you're floating through apps or when you're flying through apps or you're flying through the software, it will show, okay? 2 gig on this phone. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff on this phone preloaded, but it is very, very, very laggy. There's a massive delay from the moment you push an app until the moment that app launches. I just find it's way, way too slow, okay? That could have a bit to do with memory lag. I mean, it is a 2-year-old phone. It has been hanging around, but I did do a hard reset on this phone, and there was nothing on it. It was actually completely blank. I didn't put much stuff on it, but to be quite honest, it's pretty slow. And for a Nexus product, I actually think the camera's pretty shit. Now, it is a 12 megapixel camera, but I have been using it for kind of like just taking a few photos of food in the cafe and stuff, and taking a few photos at home, and the camera is pretty rubbish. And like I said, this phone is almost pretty mint. It is a 2-year-old phone with 2-year-old tech. Anybody out there considering buying a brand new Google Pixel or Google Nexus 5X? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I actually really wanted a Nexus 6P at the time. I never got around to getting it. They were really hard to come by in this country for some reason, and I just never got around to getting it. But the one major advantage to having a Nexus device right now is software updates. This guy, like I said, found this phone underneath his sofa. It's almost mint. I dropped him 50 quid for that phone, and it actually, when I turned it on, I couldn't believe this actually had Android 8.0 and Android Oreo already on it. Like, people are going out there now with kind of Note 8s and S8 Pluses and S8s and the kind of the newer versions of the phones that are coming out like now, and they still don't have Android 8.0, and they probably won't have Android 8.0 until the new year, okay? This has it already. Not that it's going to make any difference to that, apart from the kind of skin and the interface on it. I actually don't think it makes any difference. It has got Google Assistant on it, which is pretty nice for a phone that is 2 years old. I actually found myself wanting to use Google Assistant more. I find it very, very handy. Anybody that kind of knows me will know that I do actually talk to my phone a lot, and they're wondering what I'm at. They wouldn't know how to use Google Assistant. But what I'm basically getting to is, I don't know, guys. Like I said, anybody out there really considering buying a Nexus 5X? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, right now you can pick up a Google XL pretty cheap in around 350, 400 euro. Or sorry, yeah, and get an XL, or sorry, a Google Pixel for 350, 400 euro, and you can pick a Google XL up for just over 400 euros. And by God, I had that phone, guys, and any of you that looked over my previous videos will know I fucking loved that phone. That was by far, hands down, the best phone I've ever had. If you want a pure Android, stock Android experience, a fluid experience, and a super fast software experience, look no further than a Google phone. It comes with no bloatware, no pre-installed absolute shitty apps. It comes with the bare essentials, it comes with the bare minimum, and you can add to that and you will not see it slow down. This is the 32. Okay, Liverpool just started against Maribor, so you need to win that one, guys. This actually, like I say, comes with 2 gig. This is 2 gig of RAM, 32 gig variant. Now, it's got good levels of brightness. The display is okay. It's my first experience with an LG phone. I'm not gone on the display, if I'm honest. It has an okay level of brightness. That's max brightness. You can't even see that right now, actually. That's pretty crazy. The viewing angles are good. It has a nice feel in the hand, a really nice feel in the hand. The fingerprint sensor is okay. It's accurate, but it is slow. Probably because a fingerprint sensor 2 years ago is nothing like a fingerprint sensor now. It feels good in the hand, okay. On the top of the phone, or sorry, on the side of the phone, you have your SIM ejection tray. On one side of the phone, you have your power on or off button, and you have your volume up and down rockers. On the bottom of the phone, it does actually have a USB C or USB Type 3, yeah, whatever, USB Type C charging port, which is fantastic. That's really, really good. So kind of it's up to date with kind of the modern flagships and the modern phones that are out there now. And on the back of the phone, you have your fingerprint sensor and your 12 megapixel camera. I don't know, guys. It's a funny one for me. I'm actually not hating the phone by any means. I have been using it non-stop for over a week. I actually was in Galway, kind of one of the local biggest cities over here, and I was kind of floating around Galway. I was kind of hanging around for a few hours with my wife. I was on my phone a lot, and it was bugging the shit out of me how slow it was, how laggy it was. And right there and then I said, fuck this. I went out and got... I didn't want to spend too much money, okay? So for 300 euros, I picked up a Samsung J7 Prime. I went straight back to this. Although the Samsung was an okay phone, I ended up giving it to my wife. I was playing around. You actually will see an unboxing of that in the future, actually. It's an okay phone. It's not bad by any means, but I certainly, you know how I feel about Chinese manufactured phone, guys, and there is some pretty decent ones out there. For in around the same price as this, you could pick up OnePlus 3T. I'm just saying, OnePlus 3T, absolutely class phone, super fast, great software experience, great camera, feels good in the hand. It's a 5.5 inch. This is only a 5.2 inch display. It is an IPS panel. But I mean, honest to God, lads, for the money that you're going to spend on this brand new, you're going to get some absolutely cracking phones out there. The biggest bitch about this phone is that it was released 2 years ago and they're still looking brand new for 300 quid. Oh God, go on to GearBest, go on to Banggood and pick up Umi Digi Z1 or Umi Digi Z1 Pro. AMOLED display, super fast, 6 gig of RAM. Pick up something like that. I'd even go as far as one of my previous videos, I'd done a review of the Elephone S8. Even pick up something like that, or even the Blueboo S8. Display-wise, design-wise, speed-wise, software-wise, I just think it was a better phone than this. Maybe at the time this was released, this went down well, but certainly right now, coming to the end of 2017, it's a pretty slow phone and a pretty slow device. And to be quite honest, guys, it's just not worth the 300 quid price tag on it, okay? So that was my review and first impressions, finally, of the LG Nexus 5X by Google. I really wanted the 6P, but I never got around to getting the 6P, and that pretty disappointed me. If I could get a 6P now for around 250 quid, I would actually buy one for the crack, just to play around with it for a while, because I love Huawei devices, and I'd like to see what that is in comparison to a phone that's been released now. That is a 2-year-old phone also. They came out at the same time. So that was my review of the Nexus 5X. If you're thinking about buying it, don't. It's 2 years old. Go get yourself a Google Pixel, guys. You're going for 50 quid more. You get a Google Pixel? Come on. Let's not beat around the bush here. You'd be absolutely stupid to go out and get this when you can get a Google Pixel or a Google Pixel for the same price, okay? So that was my review of the Nexus 5X. Pretty damning. I just sectioned you, because it was found under a sofa and because they're still charging 300 quid, I said I had to do a review on it. You know, hit me up with a comment. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe. Get new subscribers all the time, and lots of them, okay? So, shout out to all you guys, and don't forget, if you like my videos, drop me a comment or like my video, whatever. Okay, thanks guys, see you later on Cafe Unboxed. Nexus 5X, woo!